But seriously, do you think the name of the university should be more important than the grades that you have achieved or the courses that you have attended? Ultimately deciding what interviews you get invited to or what assessment centers you can go to. That is insane. Hi, this is London. My name is Vanessa and we'll be discussing legal matters in and around London, you name it, as long as it's engaging and we have some fun. So during the last couple of weeks, we've all been out in the lockdown and I had a lot of time to actually connect with students, current students, postgraduates, graduates, soon-to-be students, and I came across a statement that a lot of the students kept throwing at me, and this has been a theme that has actually followed me since I started the law degree myself. And that is, Vanessa, you're so lucky that you got a training contract. And for the last couple of years, I've always just said, yeah, you're right, I am actually really lucky, or is that so? I thought it was coupled with hard work, but you know, I'll just take that. So until recently, probably like a few days ago, when I thought to myself, how lucky am I really? How much of this, getting a training contract in London or even in the UK, is down to luck? How much is actually predictable, and what does the statistics tell us about university preferences and the general chances of getting a training contract? How much is down to luck? How much is down to the university you go to? And how much is down to hard work and just really putting in the strategic element that you position yourself into the right path so that the person sees you and it gives you a chance? I thought to myself, am I not a lawyer who should be researching this and actually shedding some light on the issues that might be in London, or well, in the UK, but specifically in London, around recruitment and giving chances to students across the UK. So I decided to make myself a cup of coffee and then have a research. Okay, so at first I wasn't actually sure what I was looking for, but then I thought to myself, it's pretty simple. All I wanted to know is how likely it is to get a training contract when you hadn't gone to Oxford or Cambridge or the Russell's Group. So I did a quick Google search, training contract likelihood of a non-Oxford graduate. I didn't really get that far because my wonderful husband came and interrupted. Okay, second try. So I took it more serious and quickly came across the Chamber's 2019 report, who had looked at this specific topic. It was brilliant. They had interviewed a sample of 7,000 students from 139 firms featured since 2010. Not only had they interviewed quite a good amount of students, but they had also looked at what universities they had attended for their undergraduate degree. They found that 61% went to the Russell's Group and 15% to Oxford and Cambridge. Hold on a second, 76.5% went to Oxford or Cambridge or the Russell's Group universities. That is unbelievable. I knew it was bad, I didn't expect it to be this bad. But before we go into the numbers a little bit more, let's have a look at what the Russell's Group actually is. Russell's Group is a group of 24 universities across the UK, headed by Oxford and Cambridge. 24 universities across the UK is quite good actually, because it's not 2, it's 24. But you need to bear in mind that there are over 150 higher education registered institutions in the UK, and 24 of that is actually quite a small amount if you think about it. Unfortunately, over the last couple of years, Oxford and Cambridge have been dominating the training contract recruitment process in London specifically. They have been at the top for quite a consistent time, and you see more erratic changes the further down you go in terms of the universities. Oxford and Cambridge are amazing institutions, but you know what, we all know this. I'm here to shed light on all the other 150 higher education institutions that are out there that produce brilliant, smart, and educated people. And being a lawyer is much more than being book smart, right? There is the personality, there is the presentation, there's the engagement with clients. And I've found that when it comes down to the matter and the client, no one cares which university you go to. However, most people don't even get the chance to engage on that level, yeah, because the entry requirement is kept so closed. So we've talked a lot about the representation of the Oxbridge or Russell's Group students in the current intake of trainees, the ones that were interviewed by Chambers. But I wanted to know, what is the recruitment strategy of these law firms that a lot of students do aspire to attend? What is the Magic Circle firms, the US firms, the city firms, and then also the regional firms and national firms. So I went further and had a look at that. And surprise, surprise, and here I'm getting my laptop to make sure that we are looking at the same picture. Preference for the Magic Circle firms, the US firms, the London firms, and the city firms were the Russell's Group and Oxford and Cambridge. Up to 80% were recruited from this category. To just drive the point a little bit further home, that means that a graduate class that makes up less than 1% of all graduates in the UK takes 15% of all training contracts. I had to look into this. So I did a quick Google search again and looked at the training contracts that we had in 2018. The way I did this, I went to the Law Society and saw how many registered trainees there were in 2018. And they had registered 5,811 trainees in 2018. Okay. If we do some simple maths, 5,811 times 15%, which are Oxbridge, is 872. 5,811 times 61%, Russell's Group, 3,545. 5,811 minus the total, which is 4,417, leaves us with 1,394 out of the total. For the rest of the 60 plus universities, which each have probably an intake of an estimate around 200, so you can do the maths, it is not a lot left for the rest of us. It probably sounds quite brutal. That's probably because it is. I'm here to be transparent to future trainees, to graduates, to say, guys, it's not going to be easy, but it's definitely possible. And before we go into the steps how you can make it work and how you can actually get a training contract despite all the odds being against you, I just want to make a difference between the regional firms and the London firms. You'll see that the non-city firms do recruit more regional. So for example, in Birmingham, a law firm based in Birmingham will probably also consider a few graduates from the University of Birmingham. Okay, to sum it up, it's without saying we still have quite a long way to go. There is, of course, a lot of change happening right now because we're in a season where these issues are coming to the forefront and are being dealt with a lot more head-on than they were probably a couple of years ago, especially with what's going on in the diversity, black movement, etc. era. The problem that we find is that if you think of the colleagues that you'll be meeting, the diversity that you'll see in these firms, it all comes down to who they recruit. And as you can imagine, it's not that diverse. And obviously, without saying, diversity is what we should aspire for, what we should aspire to. A diverse client wants to see representation that is diverse. So there, it's without saying. I hope this video was quite eye-opening. I hope it was helpful in a way. I will do another video on how to jump over that hurdle and still get a training contract in 2020, you know, in the era that we are in right now. Bear in mind, I went to the University of Kent. I did a master's at King's College in finance law. I'm still here with a great, amazing law firm. And so I'm more than happy to share how I got there. If you do have any comments, I was thinking that, please do put it in the comments. Or if you have any thoughts or questions, I'm here to be transparent. I think we need much more transparency in the legal world because that's how you can understand how to position yourself, where to position yourself, and then let opportunity meet hard work. Okay, everyone, take care, stay safe, and we'll speak.